All right, my fellow agents, welcome back to Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. I am X7, your host of this fine podcast. And today it is book review day, and I'm going to do a redo here of one I did way back, I want to say in episode something like 383. Well, something like that. It's been a minute, 300 episodes, over a year maybe. I should have looked, but I did it the old school way where I just held up the pictures, and now I'm going to do it the way I know now, the way I like to do it now. So before we get too much further into it, it'll look better. You can see the pictures better and read stuff if you want to. Hopefully you'll make it through to the end of the video. That'd be really a nice thing to do if you could watch it for as long as possible. At least a few more minutes longer than usual. That I'd really appreciate. And also, if you would like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Aquaman. I know he's gotten cooler in recent years, but I've always liked him. I blame Super Friends for making him pretty uncool and not the outrageous superhero that he should be. Eventually, we'll get around to reviewing Batman, the Brave and the Bold, the series, which I love. So, having said all that, are you ready? Let's dive in. Yes, I did choose the magical Leopleurodon. It will show you the way. And if it doesn't, we will shun the non-believer. Anyway, here's my copy, the one I got, probably 10, 12 years ago from Mr. Owari himself, the generous soul that he was. And it came from my comic shop, I believe. So it's in great shape, as I've shown you in the previous episode, but this one I think you'll be happier with. It's just a wonderful set of stories, all from the, I want to say, 50s. Yeah, probably all through the 50s and maybe even a little earlier. 61, and just the first one with the creatures from the sea is from 61. Human Flying Fish came from 1960. A World Without Water. That one came from. I'm just going to look here. I know it's kind of boring. World Without Water came from 1958. All of the art was done by Ramona Fraden. And then the last one, the Shark with the Human Brain, dun dun dun, was from 54. Adventure 203, and the first Aqua Girl is from 1959. And of course, the prose story was brand new. That was from this year. So that's the comic book itself. And now let's dive right back in.
Coming up next, more action-packed adventures with Aquaman, King of the Seven Seas, featuring Aqualad and Tusky the Walrus.
So as you might have guessed, I noticed I bet Aquaman in 1971 when this was published. I must have been just a hair over 6 years old way back when. Had it in fossil bed and read it to pieces. Some of the stories I didn't understand, as I'll tell you. But I also got to see Aquaman in the excellent Filmation series from the Aquaman Superman Hour. And I forgot to put that in there, so we'll just split things up here. Anyway, so there's my comic, and here's the opening there. This is Wonder Girl had gotten her new costume, and the Demon of Dog Island. Now, I've read all of these, and I don't remember a lot of them, but there was a big four. Interestingly, the Teen Titans, when animated, had Aqualad in that with Speedy, Wonder Girl, and Kid Flash. They did not have Robin. Not sure if Robin's rights were tied up, but Filmation was making a Batman cartoon. Never read this one, Batman and Batgirl. So here's our table of contents. A brand new, never before published Adventure of Aquaman written by Steve Skeets. So there's your title. I put a little of the Filmation ones scattered throughout here. But there we go. Ramona Fradon, Jack Miller wrote this. And it tells you when they were from originally. Those are some pretty interesting critters when you think it's 61. Yeah, that they gave them ears like that. And oh, kind of photobombed me. There we go. So I just like this, that he's prepare some lunch in the aqua cave underwater. It's underwater. What are they going to eat? A peanut butter and I'm not going to say it. But he didn't get any food. And so Aqualad's not with him. So I have to go to Atlantis, but he recounts his story of his origin, from Atlantis. Not Lori Lemurus Atlantis, when they were mermaids, but Atlantis this way. And there's little Arthur. Now, I don't know that he was named yet. Little Arthur right there. So he was Arthur. Doesn't have his father, but Arthur would go by Sea King in the 60s as a sobriquet. But he was a 40s comic book hero, so he was continually published all the way through. He was one of the big five, the Holy Trinity, and of course Green Arrow and Aquaman. So there he is, happy with the shark. Then she dies. So this is all flashback, permanent exile. She tells him everything. Terrified. But he learned how to do it. There he's controlling, or they're pledging my total obedience. Ruler of all the oceans. Of course, he wasn't ruler of Atlantis yet. I mean, I like this Aquaman. He's pretty much a very bland babyface hero, like all of their DCs were, like all heroes were except for the Human Torch and especially the Submariner, because he really wasn't a hero. And now we find out who these critters are. They're not given a race in here. They're just called aliens, aquatic aliens. But they're going to take over. They're going to try to take over the world. I don't know if they were miscreants from another dimension. It seems like it. Aqualad finally shows up. There he is. Now they don't ever name Topo in the Filmation cartoon, but I'm just going to assume that's Topo. Who else would it be? She always drew their octopuses the same. At least she didn't give them a mouth, right? So here we have, they've got grenades and all sorts of depth bombs. He's got them trained really well. I always like to think instead of commanding them, he would ask them. And there's their heat ray. The aliens have a heat ray. Uh-oh. And then, flying fish drop the bombs. And he zaps them. He opens up the phantom ray projector. Oh, wait, that's not what it is, but it sure looks like it. Wanted criminals. Now he's a hero of Atlantis. So I don't know that he was the king. They told him he was the son of the ruler, but, the daughter was the princess. So that's it. There's another one, just a nice shot of Aquaman on Storm in a world without water. You can see from 50, I didn't need to go through all that. So I really like Ramona's artwork. It's sleek. It's very much hers, but it's not overly complicated. But she's a good artist. I did get to see her once at Comic-Con. I wish I'd have gone up and talked to her, but I just was happy to be there, just in awe of these legendary artists, John Romita and Irv Novick. Just so many great people. Aquaman gets sent 5,000 years into the future, 6,958 Common Era. That's Z3. So I just love the futuristic designs. They're modern futuristic, like Star Trek. one puddle, but somehow these sea creatures now live on land. This whale would not be able to support itself. I mean, it would have to shrink back down to the size of a hippo, since they had the same sort of ancestors. But fortunately, there you go. The animals are going. Aquaman can still command him. Oh, I thought for some reason I thought Z3 was the bad guy swimming uphill. So I don't know if he was no damage of radiation, so he's going to live forever. The human flying fish. Now this one was interesting because I couldn't figure out the what here. So brag there. Decide he gets an operation to become to have gills put on him, and he could become a flying fish, a human flying fish. But now he's not human anymore. So I don't know if he ever came back or not. Let me look over here. Creatures from Atlantis, human flying fish. Dr. Krill, antagonist, first appearance. Has he been back? You'd think he's kind of New Earth. Good Lord. First appearance. Notes. Nah, doesn't look like he. Oh, he's been on the New Earth, so I guess I don't know. Don't care anymore. Just another great. Now that's a great shot. So, but he's stealing giant rubies, but Aquaman uses a giant octopus. Now that's not named Topo. Topo is in the book. So, but they capture him. Electric eels. So they just trick him, and there's little bitty Aquaman. The Teen Titans, when they started out, were like 13-year-old Teen Titans. They were not. They were not the grown-up teenagers that could drive and date and fight amongst each other. But he was just a little bitty spud. Now Aquaman had a fifth dimensional creature, Zix something. There's Mara, and I put her here because the first Aqua Girl, Miss Morel. Long before he met, and so he'd already married Mara from the water dimension or wherever she was. Look at how fast she can go, straight up there. She's commanding seals, which aren't fish, but they are, denizens of the ocean. Those probably are. Those are sea lions. Actually, they're not seals. You can tell by their ears, and they're much bigger. So, and she wants to be his partner, but he's warning her not to do it because she lost her underwater powers because she's a throwback. They have purple eyes. That's how he do. So I don't know if she ever came back, and I'm just not going to look because, oh, they do. Yeah, Topo was in a world without water. Squirrel. I just put this in here because I've never seen this book before. Look at that cover, House of Forbidden Love. I never read romance, even if it was, something. I never had sea monkeys. We talked about them in the comic book, as it's over there somewhere. And finally, this is our last comic book story: the shark with the human brain. Shark Wilson. He's even named Shark Wilson. He falls onto an enchanted beach and turns into a shark. He ties up the octopi. He bends the poor swordfish to destroy it, but he's too smart. So he's done commanding it. Oh, and there's now this movie came out in 1971, and I don't know that advertising to, kids from the age of 6 to maybe 12 or 15, maybe 15 would have gone to see this, even with Elkie Summer in it. I don't know that I've ever seen it, but it sure was in a lot of magazines. It looks exciting, but there's no giant monster. So Shark Wilson, as Shark, can control other sharks, but then he uses a pufferfish to deadly poison spikes, which is not. I mean, fugu, pufferfish can be poisonous and fatal if ingested, if not. But their spikes aren't poisonous, which scared me at one point in time when I Had to grab an empty pot. Well, I got poison spikes, which were not poison. It was out of the water. It was just something my friend had in the room in the Dominican. But shark showed up. And he said, and then so Aquaman here breaks the fourth wall and talks to the readers. What do you think? And then another gigantic, strange adventure. Attack of the Flying Gorillas. That should be giant flying gorillas, it looks like. Suppose they're from Gorilla City. And now we get to the Island of Fear, which I just showed this because this is the best. It's got nice artwork in it. Sal Amendola and Dick Giordano. He probably was just fresh from Charlton, getting more work at DC, who paid better, and he would become an editor in chief. And then this, a 50 cent. This had to be a 100-pager. Special humor of period by the famous Sergio Aragones. I don't know if this was ever a Kirby blockbuster, but it's like the days of the mob, authentic illustrated stories. Someone has to have a copy of this somewhere. If you do, let me know what's in it. There's the end, the new hot birds, which they kind of look like spaceships, but wasn't what I wanted. If you want to read more about this and other comic books that I've reviewed, go get issue 32. There's a black and white version, which is full of, and then there's two color versions, part 1 and part 2. I wish I'd have numbered them separately, but I was still learning. But Aquaman is in the first one, and they're really great. He said so modestly. So, my fellow agents, I forgot to include that. Let's just stop right now, and I'll include. We'll just do the one. So, the Superman Aquaman Adventure Hour intro. I hope that YouTube will let me do it. So, having said all that, until our next assignment, which will be 4 episodes of Kikaider tomorrow, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
The Superman Aquaman Hour of Adventure.
Superman, Aquaman, all the superheroes. They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might. Superman, the man of steel, performs super deeds with ease. Aquaman's the bold and daring king of the 7 seas. Something from another planet swoops upon the foe. Nothing stops the Teen Titans anywhere they go. Flashed by the eyes who follow with the super speed. Against the force of evil, the Atom will succeed. Green Lantern's power ring can accomplish anything. Superman, Aquaman, all the superheroes are the Justice League of America.